Hey everyone, how's it going? Welcome back to another Walking Dead video. So I wanted to break down the episode 4 trailer, talk about some things that I do think are likely going to be happening in this episode here. So before we go any further, make sure to be a subscriber if you want to get all my Walking Dead content like this. I have quite a bit that I do want to talk about for the Walking Dead Daryl Dixon this week. I did just post a video talking about the enhanced walkers and whatnot. So definitely, if you are interested in my breakdown of all the enhanced walker stuff and all that, that video is on the channel. And it's, it's very interesting. I will say the scene really was very, very exciting to see, and it was cool in general to like finally have the confirmation, like finally have it out there. Yeah, we saw the trailer and all that, but we haven't seen the footage yet, but now we have seen the actual footage and stuff. So yeah, they seem to be teasing this like every second episode. So I'm, my guess is episode 4, we're not going to see too much of it, but we're going to see it again in episode 5, probably in a fight with Daryl and that variant walker. And then episode 6, there'll probably be something there in terms of a post-credit scene or whatever's going to happen there at the ending. But let's talk about episode 4 here. So before we go any further, make sure to be a subscriber if you do want to get all my Walking Dead content like this. And if you are interested in subscribing to my podcast, I will leave a link down below in the description of this video. Episode 12 or 13, it's one of the episodes anyways, but it will be releasing at some point today. I just gotta listen to it and whatnot. But so let's break down the episode 4 trailer here. So we do see some shots of Daryl and Isabel, and obviously they're searching for Laurent, because Laurent, after the ending of episode 3, reacted pretty poorly to the information that he learned. And I don't know how much he heard, like just the scene in general. There wasn't certain things that were said. Like there was just some stuff, just surrounding the whole thing that kind of felt a little bit off. And now I'm just kind of wondering about some stuff with it, like does Laurent know that Isabel is his auntie, right? Like, I don't know if he actually knows that. Does he know about Quinn? I think he knows about that, right? Because he did overhear that. There's some stuff in terms of the belief that he's the next Messiah and all that. He did hear some of that, and Isabel was sort of saying that, like, she believes in it, this and that, and Daryl was saying, no, maybe he's just a regular kid. So there's a lot of that he heard, and so I'm really interested in seeing his perspective on the whole thing now. Does he choose to just believe it now? Is he like, you know what, you're right, I am very, very important to everything here, you know what I mean? Does he choose to believe that? Or is he like, you know what, no, I'm just a regular kid, I just want to be a normal person? So it's going to be interesting to see what happens with Laurent next. And it's kind of cool because we're getting into the last, we're halfway through the season now, right? Which is why, by the way, we need more than 6 episodes. Like, I'm okay with 8 episodes or even 10. You don't have to do 12 or 16 or anything like that, but 6 is just not enough. It really is just not enough. But Isabel does say that she searched all night, and at this point here, first of all, if you remember the ending of episode 3, Daryl fell through the roof, so whatever happened there, obviously, overall doesn't really matter. I really feel like it was more just a way to end the episode. Like, I don't know if anything's really going to come of it. I really feel like we're just going to see Daryl maybe just knocked out down there or something like that. And then, I don't know, probably just like day shots like this. Like, I don't think there's going to be too much to be seen from when he fell through the roof. I think that was just more of a way to end the episode, which I know a lot of people are probably criticizing the ending there, or maybe not even criticizing it, just kind of laughing about it, because I also did too. I mentioned that in my review. Like, the episode was good, I enjoyed the episode, and then it just ended in that way, and I was like, wait, what? Like, it felt like a Bugs Bunny ending. It's exactly the way it felt. It felt like he felt like the roof cracking or whatever, and then he looks up at the camera and he's like, uh-oh, and then like just falls through the roof. Like, it really felt like, again, like a Bugs Bunny cartoon sort of moment. And yeah, definitely a very, very weird ending. But we do see Isabel and Daryl, obviously, like they're searching for Laurent. That's sort of the main focus here of the episode. The trailer here says on the next episode The Walking Dead Daryl Dixon, and we see, I guess, this barrier built up with sandbags, and this is around the Eiffel Tower. We know that Laurent is actually here at this point here, so it makes sense. I'm thinking that they're probably going to decide in this episode, or maybe they get a clue or something. But in my opinion, I really feel like they're just going to be like, wait, we can't find Laurent anywhere. We did have that necklace, or he did have that necklace or whatever. And there's 2 moments that happened. That woman that was in the nightclub, she gave the necklace to Laurent. There's also that picture of Laurent's mother, right, Lily, and she was standing right by the Eiffel Tower. So I feel like in general, they're going to be like, maybe he's there, so let's go look there. And I think that's why we're seeing Laurent at the Eiffel Tower. He's going to go there just because obviously his mom was there, sort of thing. And I think it's a very smart thing to think, like, he's trying to discover more about who he is, this and that. He's learning some truths about himself. So he's like, yeah, I'm going to go here, right? Like, I think it makes a lot of sense. So we do see Caudron and Madame Genet here, and they've arrived to, I don't know what this place is called here, but they've arrived to the place that Falou obviously owns, or I guess is the leader of, and I'm very surprised by that. When I saw her here, I was like, whoa, like she's actually at this place here. That's kind of, it's interesting, because I really view her as like, I don't want to say like Elizabeth Kublik from World Beyond, but almost in that same way. I mean, first of all, they're dressed the same, they have their hair, tied back in the same exact way, and it's actually really funny, because when we first saw Madame Genet, I saw a lot of people criticizing me just in the comments and stuff, saying like, how do you not know? Like, don't you not realize that that's actually Elizabeth Kublik? Or some people were saying that this is the same woman from the post-credit scene in World Beyond, and like, no, not at all. Like, totally different characters, like entirely. Madame Genet is described, and we learn a lot about her in episode 3, but she really has a lot of power, and it doesn't seem like there was anyone else really before her. It really feels like she just sort of rose to power pretty quickly, and she practically owns almost all of France at this point here. Like, everyone follows her. There's obviously like this resistance network that is sort of forming. Like, we have the Abbey that was a part of that. This group here, I don't know what this place is called, but they're obviously a part of it as well. Like, they don't like the cause or anything, associated with Madame Genet. But it's a very interesting scene because she has a lot of power, and she's a very, I don't want to say popular character, but she's very famous, I guess, right? Like, a lot of people know who she is, and it's just to see her here at this place looking for Daryl. I mean, actually in the scene, she literally says, "I heard about a special boy." So I'm wondering if in this scene here, like, I'm trying to think of exactly how much she knows about a lot of that. Maybe I'm just not remembering right now of, just certain things that she learned in episode 1. And I don't think, well, actually, you know what? Now that I'm thinking about it, Caudron did learn a lot of information at the end of episode 1, or at the end of episode 2. He learned a lot of information about Laurent and Daryl and all that. So I'm guessing that's exactly why she's saying this here, because he told her everything about Laurent and what their mission is, and obviously Daryl and whatnot, right? So it's actually kind of interesting looking at the story now, because a lot of us before the season started assumed that Caudron and whoever were, more after Daryl, Laurent, and Isabel and Sylvie, because, they didn't want Laurent to be the cure or something like that. Like, it kind of felt like that was the story overall, but it kind of seems like now it's more that they want Daryl, because obviously Daryl did a lot of stuff, in terms of destruction and all of that to their research and a lot of that, and so they sort of just want revenge on Daryl and whatnot, so that they're going after him right now. And there is some stuff about Laurent that I'm really curious about. Like, I really do wonder if there's some aspects to it where they're like, this could mean a lot more, you know what I mean? Like, I really wonder if Madame Genet is wondering, is he the cure? Could he be immune in some way? Do they know something? And obviously, she's doing Walker experiments and all that stuff. I really wonder if she's, just curious about that, because the whole thing with the Walker experiments is like, who is wanting to start this? Like, who is doing this just originally? Is there something more to this? Is this something that she just wants to do specifically? There's a lot here. Like, there's a lot of stuff that we just don't know yet, but it looks like we're starting to learn a lot more here. I mean, we're only 3 episodes in, and we already have a lot of information, right? So I imagine episode 4, 5, and 6, we're going to learn a lot more here. But yeah, just really crazy that she's actually here in this scene here. And we do see Laurent. He's looking at the Eiffel Tower. So again, going to be a very cool scene when he's actually there. We do see Quinn. There's another character here, and then the other character who was the singer in the previous episode, in episode 3. And I mean, it's very interesting that we are seeing Quinn again. Like, Quinn, like, again, I mentioned this before, but like, when they first announced the casting for this season, Quinn was announced as like a big character, and it just kind of seemed like going into the show, he wasn't really that big of a character. But now, he was in episode 2 in a flashback, in episode 3 in a pretty big scene, and in episode 4 as well. So I'm guessing he's actually a pretty big part of the show. He might just die in this episode, who knows? But it looks like he is actually, here, and he is told that they are looking for Laurent, and he learns that specifically it's the cause, it's Madame Genet that wants Laurent. And so Quinn, obviously at this point now, I mean, it's kind of interesting because he's kind of set up as a villain right now, but because of who Madame Genet is, he actually might be more of a hero, right? Like, because Dead City explored a lot of that. Like, things aren't so black and white. It is a lot more gray, right? And so I guess this is sort of Daryl Dixon's version of that in that sense. Quinn, I mean, I guess obviously to Daryl and especially to Isabel, is more of like a villain character, but compared to Madame Genet, he really isn't. So he wants to know, like, what do they want with him? And we'll have to see, does he believe? And that's the thing too. He could still be a villain. Like, it might not be one of those things where like he's, more protective over Laurent. Like, he might, find out about him and be like, you know what? I have some information on where he could be, this and that, in order to gain more power from Madame Genet or something. You know what I mean? Like more recognition or something like that, right? But yeah, we do see Laurent. He actually looks at this walker here. And this walker to me looked like a variant walker. I think because of the context of the scene, it's probably just a normal walker, maybe a burner. That's also possible. We do see a shot here of Laurent with two other characters. And I don't know, for me, these two characters are a little suspicious. I really feel like they're actually a part of the cause or whatever, or maybe they're part of Quinn's group, but I don't think they're a part of, I guess, Falou's group, right? And like Isabel and whatnot. I really feel like these are bad guys, and like Laurent is actually just, I mean, Laurent's not going to know, right? Laurent's just going to trust whoever. So I feel like he's just sort of trusting them to get him out of the situation. But we do see some shots here of Daryl and Isabel, and obviously this is by the Eiffel Tower here. And so their reactions here, I mean, maybe they're seeing Laurent here, right? It really feels like Daryl is actually at this point looking and like noticing the fact that Laurent was just taken by somebody. And this could be where the story gets very, very exciting. Like Laurent could actually just be taken by, I mean, who knows what, right? Like it could be Madame Genet, it could be Quinn's group, because that could be a way in connecting or making that story be bigger. Like that just could be a way in doing that. But I do think Laurent could be captured and Daryl's just sort of reacting, because there's also this shot right here where we do see Daryl. I don't know if this is like a sewer or something, but he has someone here and he's in a tunnel or whatever. And it looks like he's interrogating him because he's probably wondering, where is he, sort of thing, right? This could happen before all of that. Maybe Daryl witnesses Laurent getting taken, and then there's this whole fight, but he actually saves him, and then maybe he himself is captured at the end of the episode, and Laurent is still safe with Isabel and whatnot, right? Like, that is very, very possible, and you never know. Like, that's the thing. Daryl has no real reason to stay right now, maybe because Isabel, Laurent, and Sylvie save his life. Maybe that's why he decides to stay in France, and that's why we're getting a season 2 and all that. I mean, Carol's going to be there as well, so that's also one thing, right? And yeah, I mean, obviously Carol's going to be there, so there's a lot of reasons for Daryl to want to stay after, and there's probably going to be a bunch of more issues, a big story and whatnot sort of introduced here at the very end of the season. But yeah, I do think Daryl's likely going to get captured here at the very, very end. We do see a shot here of Daryl. He does say there's going to be another way in, so obviously at this point here, I mean, they're trying to get into some place here, right? Like this could be like Quinn's nightclub. It could be sort of locked off at this point. I mean, it's hard to say, because what else are they talking about, right? We do see a shot here of Daryl, I guess, sort of interrogating this one person. And again, I think this is related to the other shot where we saw him go into the tunnel and whatnot. And yeah, I mean, I think that it makes sense that it could actually be the nightclub that they're trying to get into. And maybe Quinn and his people actually found Laurent and are giving Laurent to the cause, and maybe that's why, he ultimately, I guess, becomes a villain. We'll have to wait and see, but episode 4 looks really, really interesting. I'm really excited for this episode. I can't wait to see what's going to happen. Again, I really think Daryl's going to get captured at the end of this episode, because I just really feel like the way the rest of the season is going to go is episode 4, he's captured. 5, he's going to fight the Variant Walker and obviously defeat the Variant Walker. Maybe he gets help in the sense that Isabel and Sylvie show up and sort of take out the Walker for him, because obviously I don't know if he's going to be able to deal with it by himself. Like it might get to the point where he's near death or something, and then obviously Isabel and Sylvie show up and sort of save his life, right? It could also end in a way where one of the bigger characters die, like Caudron. I mean, that's the thing. I don't want Caudron to die, because I feel like he just got recognized and we're seeing his rise right now. Like, he's such an awesome character. I want him to stick around for a while. But I think the finale, it's going to wrap up a lot of this stuff. I think we're going to see Daryl, Laurent, Sylvie, and Isabel at this point all reunited, and they're all going to obviously go to the nest. And do they make it there? I think they will. I don't think the nest and, their goal of, where they're trying to go in northern France is going to be just like a season 2 thing, and like we're only seeing half the trip sort of thing right now, right? I don't think it's going to be like that. I think this is like the full season story because obviously they made it to Paris so fast, right? Episode 3, they're already here in Paris. And so they're very, very close to the port. I mean, they're very close to where Daryl wants to go in terms of, you know, getting on that ship now. So we'll just have to wait and see where this goes next. And I mean, they're very, very close, right? They're actually very close to bringing Laurent to where he's supposed to be. And now that he's lost, you know, obviously that sort of messes some stuff up right now. We do have Isabel and Sylvie as well. I mean, could they die at all? And that's actually one thing I do want to ask you guys. Like, I mean, maybe I should do a death predictions video or something, but Daryl's obviously going to survive. But out of the 3 main characters, I mean, maybe you include Quinn as a 4th main character. I'm not going to include him. But out of the group that we have, like ignoring Daryl, there's Sylvie, Isabel, and Laurent. Which of those 3 do you think are going to die this season? In my opinion, I don't think any of them are going to die. I actually think they're all probably going to survive this season because I just don't see a way. I don't know. We just sort of met the characters. Like, I feel like with Dead City, they introduced a bunch of characters and then they killed a lot of them off. A lot of them you can kind of see it made sense, like they weren't really going to go anywhere. But with a lot of the characters they introduced on Daryl Dixon, they're very likable characters. And I think they're characters that you really cannot kill off because people really love them. And it would honestly really suck if like they were actually killed off and, you know, maybe they didn't predict the fact that fans would love these characters. I don't know. I personally, I want all 3 of them to survive this season. But yeah, definitely let me know your thoughts down below. Let me know your predictions for episode 4. Hope you guys all enjoyed the video, and I'll see you guys in the next one.